Did you know that the ancient Egyptians believed in a pantheon of powerful gods who played a crucial role in the creation of humanity? From gods of the sun, air, and wisdom to the very forces of life itself, these deities shape the world we live in today according to ancient Egyptian mythology. Let's learn more about their fascinating stories and see how each god contributed to the creation of humanity. Welcome to my channel, where I share the mysteries of ancient civilizations and their incredible mythologies. In today's video, I'll be looking at the 12 Egyptian gods who created humanity. I'll explore who these gods were, what they represented, and the myths that made them central to the ancient Egyptian understanding of life and the cosmos. Now, here's where things get interesting. The ancient Egyptian belief system wasn't exactly straightforward. They didn't have just one creation story. There were multiple versions depending on the city or region, and each god played a different role. So, how do we make sense of it all? Who were these gods, and what part did each one play in creating humanity? Understanding this pantheon means diving into rich and complex myths that evolved over millennia. Don't worry though, I'll walk you through it step by step. Let's start with Atum, often seen as the primordial creator god in ancient Egyptian mythology, originating from the Heliopolitan creation myth. Atum was believed to have created himself from the chaos waters of Nun, the formless abyss before the world existed. According to myth, Atum emerged onto the Bin, a primordial mound that was the first solid ground. From there, he began creation by giving birth to Shu, god of air, and Tefnut, goddess of moisture, either by spitting or expelling them through his breath. He is also credited with creating humanity. Some myths say that humans were created from his tears, signifying the deep connection between the gods and humanity. Atum's act of self-creation and bringing forth life is central to the idea of divine kingship in Egypt. Next, there's Ra. The powerful sun god played a critical role in Egyptian creation myths, often associated with the life-giving force of the sun. As the god of the sun, Ra was seen as the ruler of the sky, the earth, and the underworld. He sailed across the sky in his solar barca during the day, bringing light and life to the world. At night, he traveled through the underworld, battling chaos before rising again each morning. In creation, Ra spoke the first words that brought living things into existence. His power extended beyond mere light. It symbolized life itself. In some versions, Ra merged with Atum to form Atum Ra, a god who represented both the setting sun and creation. His presence as the sun was a constant reminder of the renewal and cyclical nature of life. Then we have Amun, who started as a local god in Thebes, but rose to national prominence when he merged with Ra, forming Amun-Ra, the king of the gods. In this role, Amun represented both the hidden, mysterious forces of creation and the visible, life-giving light of the sun. Amun was considered the hidden god, the one who existed beyond human comprehension, yet he was also believed to dwell within all things. As a creator god, Amun was thought to have the power to shape the world with his mind alone, a reflection of the belief that divine creation was a mental, spiritual act. His temples, particularly at Karnak, became some of the most important religious centers in Egypt, cementing his status as one of the most powerful deities in Egyptian theology. Now let's talk about Ptah, the god of craftsmen, architects, and creation. Ptah was especially revered in the city of Memphis. He was a god of creation through thought and speech, according to the Memphite theology. Ptah's creative power was said to lie in his heart, representing thought, and his tongue, representing speech. Through these, Ptah conceived of and then spoke the world into existence. He was seen as the one who gave form to everything, from the gods themselves to the physical objects in the world. Ptah's role emphasized the idea that creation was both an intellectual and physical process, blending the conceptual with the material. His influence extended to all aspects of art, technology, and construction, which were seen as divine acts of creation. We can't forget Nun, also known as Nu. Nun was the personification of the primordial waters of chaos from which the first gods emerged. Nun was formless and boundless, representing the potential of creation before it took shape. In Egyptian cosmology, Nun was always present, lying beneath the world as the deep waters from which creation was born and to which it would one day return. Although Nun did not take an active role in creating humans directly, the waters of Nun were essential to the creation process. The emergence of land, symbolized by the Bin, occurred when the first creator god, usually Atum or Ra, arose from the waters of Nun. Even after creation, Nun remained as the source of floods that rejuvenated the earth linking him to the Nile's vital role in sustaining life. Moving to the physical earth, there's Geb, the god of the land, or also known as god of the earth, a central figure in Egyptian creation stories. As the earth itself, Geb provided the physical space in which life could exist. He was often depicted lying beneath his sister and consort Nut, the sky, while their children, Shu and Tefnut, stood between them. Geb's body represented the fertile soil, the mountains, and the deserts of Egypt. The vegetation and crops that grew from the earth were seen as gifts from Geb, making him a god of fertility. As a result, he was closely associated with kingship and the pharaohs, who were believed to rule over the land with Geb's blessing. Geb's laughter was said to cause earthquakes, and his tears could make rivers swell, further highlighting his connection to the physical environment. Above Geb was Nut, the goddess of the sky, and the barrier separating the forces of chaos from the ordered world below. In Egyptian mythology, Nut was depicted as a woman arching over the earth, with her body forming the sky. Every night, she swallowed the sun god, Ra, and every morning she gave birth to him, symbolizing the cycle of day and night. Nut's role in creation was essential, as she held back the waters of chaos that threatened to flood the earth. Her relationship with Geb, her consort, symbolized the union of earth and sky, which made the creation of life possible. Nut was also associated with death and rebirth, as she was said to welcome the deceased into the afterlife, much like how she brought forth Ra each day. Now, on to Shu, the god of air. He was a vital figure in the separation of the sky. Nut from the earth, Geb. According to myth, Shu was created by Atum, either by being spat out or through his breath. Shu's main role in creation was to hold Nut above Geb, creating the space where life could exist. Without Shu's intervention, the sky and earth would remain together and no life could flourish. He was also seen as the embodiment of air and wind, representing the breath of life that filled all living creatures. Shu's separation of Geb and Nut ensured that chaos could not reclaim the earth, making him a guardian of order. And don't forget, Tefnut, the goddess of moisture. Tefnut was Shu's twin sister and counterpart. She represented the vital moisture needed for life to thrive, such as rain, dew, and rivers. Together with Shu, she helped maintain the balance of creation by bringing essential water to the earth. Tefnut's presence was crucial for fertility and vegetation, as she provided the moisture that allowed plants to grow and sustain human and animal life. In some stories, Tefnut became estranged from Shu and wandered away from Egypt, causing a drought. Only when she was found and returned did the rains fall again, symbolizing her vital role in maintaining the balance of life. One of the most important gods, Osiris, primarily known as the god of the afterlife and resurrection, also played a significant role in fertility and the continuous renewal of life. His death and resurrection myth is a powerful symbol of the regeneration of the earth, mirroring the cycles of the Nile's flooding and the growth of crops. Osiris was believed to have once been a great king of Egypt before being murdered by his brother Set. His wife Isis resurrected him through magic, and he became the ruler of the underworld. His story became a central narrative of rebirth in Egyptian mythology, symbolizing the idea that death was not the end, but a transition to a new existence. This idea permeated all aspects of life, especially the cultivation of crops, which relied on the yearly cycles of death and rebirth tied to the Nile. Beside Osiris was Isis, the goddess of magic, motherhood, and fertility. Isis was one of the most important deities in Egyptian mythology. She was instrumental in resurrecting her husband Osiris and conceiving their son Horus, who would later avenge his father and become the ruler of Egypt. As a mother figure, Isis was also seen as a protector of the living and the dead, using her magical powers to heal and nurture. In the creation of humanity, Isis symbolized life-giving forces, not just in childbirth, but in the overall nurturing of all life. She was worshipped as a goddess who could provide for the needs of her followers, ensuring their health, prosperity, and protection. Lastly, there's Thoth, the god of wisdom, writing, and knowledge. Thoth was essential in maintaining the order of the cosmos. Often depicted with the head of an ibis or as a baboon, Thoth was considered the scribe of the gods, recording all things. He was credited with creating writing, which allowed civilization to flourish, and with the development of laws and magic. In the creation myths, Thoth played the role of mediator, maintaining balance between order and chaos. His wisdom was crucial to the gods' efforts in keeping the world from falling back into disorder. Thoth also helped Isis in the resurrection of Osiris, further emphasizing his role as a divine keeper of balance in life. So, to recap the 12 Egyptian gods, Atum, Ra, Amun, Ptah, Nun, Geb, Nut, Shu, Tefnut, Osiris, Isis, and Thoth each played a pivotal role in shaping the cosmos and creating humanity. Whether through their divine powers of speech, craft, wisdom, or tears, these gods together formed the rich and complex world of Egyptian mythology that continues to captivate us today. Each god had a unique function, contributing to the world's balance, human life, and the forces of nature, all bound together by the divine order known as Ma'at. If you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more videos on ancient civilizations. What other story do you like to hear about? Let me know down in the comments.